Alright, I hope you guys can hear me over the water. Alright, so if you watched the last video, I hope this video is just as informative. So as I started the last video, we're going to start off talking about how over the last couple days or weeks or so, there's been a couple of issues that have come up that I want to talk about. In the last video, we talked about how I've been misdiagnosed since my surgery, and in that same time frame, I have also had a couple people talk about how I have apparently lost too much weight. You know what? It don't bother me that people have said I lost too much weight because it's right along the lines of the same people, amount of people that have been saying that I've lost too much weight since before I had surgery. And I made a video talking about this before surgery. And I thought I had nipped that in the bud then, but apparently not. Just let the water heat up so I can wash this mask off my face. But since it's coming up again, I'm ready to talk about it again. So I have been dealing with body dysmorphia since about the 4th grade. As a 4th grader, you shouldn't have to deal with body dysmorphia at such a young age. At that time, you don't even know what body dysmorphia is. You're running around the playground thinking that you're just a normal kid, not even realizing that your body is different from your peers. You just think that you are just a little bit bigger than other kids, not even realizing that your body is just a little bit different from them until you end up getting stabbed in the butt with a fork. Middle school comes along. Again, you don't realize that you're any different than your peers, and then you begin to notice that they're treating you a little bit different than the other kids because your clothes are a little bit bigger than theirs because you are a little bit bigger than them. But you're thinking it's normal until you realize that your shirt's a little bit bigger than theirs, but you don't know what it's called. By high school, you realize that you are bigger than other kids, but you still don't realize that anything is wrong with you until you start realizing that people are whispering about you, but you don't know what's wrong. You don't know why people think something's wrong with you when there are there are other guys that's really big, so much bigger than you, but they're not talking about them the way they're talking about you. So you just try to stay in the corner, stay out the way, and you live your life that way, trying to shy off into the corner your whole life. And now that you're an adult, you have done something about your weight, and you reach a weight that you are comfortable with. Even before I lost weight, I was comfortable. I had become comfortable in my weight to the point that I hadn't even realized how much weight I had gained. At my largest weight, I was 340 pounds. Again, I was so comfortable in my weight because again, I didn't. I knew that there was other people bigger than me, but I didn't even realize how big I had gotten until it was pointed out to me. The first time I got over 300 pounds, I didn't realize how big I was until it was pointed out to me. I got that time I got down from 327 down to 242, and even then I vowed I wasn't gonna get back up there. Got injured. Um, got benched by my physical therapist and my personal trainer. Next thing I know, I was back up to 340 pounds. Developed diabetes. Became almost immobile. So when you hear them people on my 300-pound life, my 600-pound life, say they were immobile almost accidentally, I definitely understand where they're coming from, because when I say I was having trouble walking from one block for a total of one block, I was really struggling, especially once I started driving. I know what they mean. Developed diabetes. But once I got my mobility back, I was determined not to be immobile again. So I walked and I walked and I walked and I walked and I walked. But I was still not cleared to run like I was before I put on all that weight. So getting back out there doing races like I was, I couldn't. So I was walking and walking and walking. And just waiting for the clearance to get back out there. The clearance never came. The clearance still technically haven't come, but I was determined to not gain that weight. My doctors, but the doctor saw that I was determined to lose the weight. So they put me on Mounjaro, because they saw that even with me being active, me going to the gym, me eating right, they saw that I wasn't able to maintain the weight loss. So they was like, okay, well, we got to do something. So I was put on, first I was put on Ozempic during the pandemic. Ozempic couldn't stay in stock. So I would get down to 285, we would lose access to Ozempic. So I'll shoot back up to as high as 315. Even with me still walking and being active in the gym. But when they put me on, and it would go up and down like that as long as we had access to Ozempic. So then we would get down, they put me on, we got all the way to this, like I said, this was during the pandemic. So then when we got access to Mounjaro in August of 2023, we started seeing great results. So we stayed on Mounjaro since then. I've been staying active with the walking, and I've been staying pretty consistent with how I eat. And since then, I've been steady dropping in my weight. And since then, I've been able to maintain the weight loss, even when I was off Mounjaro from May of 2024 until August of 2024. I only gained about 10 pounds during that time. I went from 270 274 to back up to, actually I didn't even get the full 10 pounds. I went from 274 to 280 during that little short stint that I didn't have access to my medication. But once I got access back to my medication, I've been still, even during that time, I was still active. But since August of 2024, I've been staying on my medication. And then I got injured October of last year. And then in November, that is when they put me on the topiramate. And basically since August of last year until February of this year is when I really accelerated my weight loss. And that's when I hit the 100-pound mark. And then I have been consistently losing about 3 to 5 pounds a month since February. And this month this week I hit the 216 mark. But to consistently hear people say, you're losing too much weight, you lose too much weight, you lose too much weight, it's kind of getting old at this point. I'm not listening to people. I'm going to continue to lose the weight that I feel like I need to lose. I'm content with where I'm at. So if I don't lose any more weight, I'm okay with it. I feel like I need to lose about 35 more pounds to be where I want to be before I start to put on a bunch of muscle, because there's still a lot of fat on my body, mainly in my stomach area. But if I didn't lose another pound, I would be okay with that, as long as I'm lifting weights when I get back in the gym consistently. As long as when I'm lifting, as I'm lifting weights, that fat is burnt and turns into muscle, I will be okay with the numbers I see on the scale. But to hear people start to say that I am, or start to assume that I'm sick, that is what paralyzed me for so long. And kept me in that state of mind of not wanting to lose weight. No, I'm not sick. No, I don't have any sort of disease or anything. I actually feel like I look healthy with the weight loss. No, I'm not hiding anything or anything like that. I keep telling y'all, if y'all have questions or concerns, to put them in the comments. Nobody has done it. I don't know what people are afraid of to do that. Y'all want to keep talking behind my back, by all means, keep talking behind my back. But if you're going to do that, don't let it get back to me. Those that have brought your questions and concerns directly to me, I do appreciate it. Because like I said in my short and my reels, when you bring it to me is when we're going to have a conversation. And those that have brought it to me know that we have had healthy conversations about your questions and concerns, and they have been productive, they have been positive. There haven't been any negative attitudes or backlash on my part or your part. And I think we both can vouch for that. And if you want to identify yourself below, by all means, you are more than welcome to do that. And again, we can continue to have that healthy dialogue in the comments if you so choose to. Because I'm sure we would definitely continue to have those private, healthy dialogue behind the scene if you so choose to. Because I believe we have had healthy dialogue behind the scenes. And If you disagree, again, we can talk about it. Again, you know who you are. So if you would like to talk about it in front of the camera or behind the camera, we can talk about it. This video is just to address anybody else that would like to address any questions or concerns that you may have in regards to my weight loss. Again, at my highest weight, I was 340 pounds. I am officially, as of this morning, down to 216 pounds. I will probably get my goal by the end of the year, before I do any bulking, will like to get down to 180 pounds before I do any major bulking. I am still taking it pretty easy the rest of this week, and then starting Sunday, I will start doing the 75 soft program to help me achieve that goal. 75 soft will include, and I'll do a separate video on that. 75 soft will include some low impact workouts, as well as some journaling, daily affirmations, some clean eating, and that's pretty much 75 soft. 75 hard, we will probably get into after the first of the year, which will include 2 workouts a day. Again, daily affirmations, a daily progress photo, and I don't have the rest of the details of 75 soft. 75 soft hard will also include a gallon of water a day. 75 soft includes a half gallon of water a day. '75 soft does not include the daily progress photo, but I will probably do a weekly progress photo. That's all I got for y'all right now. I am still working on my weight loss 101 video. I have the questions. I had them before surgery. I didn't get to the video before surgery, and I didn't want to do it right after surgery because I wasn't comfortable with how my voice sounded at the time. Now that my voice has healed, I will probably do that video in the coming days or weeks. I know it will be done before the end of October. But again, I think that is all I have for this video. I am going to get ready for bed. Tomorrow marks 8 weeks since surgery. You guys probably noticed that I have stopped doing my updates on my short form updates on my progress. And I did tell y'all that they were pretty much coming to an end, but they mainly stopped because I was primarily doing them for TikTok. But TikTok started tripping and marking a lot of them for nudity and sexual activity, or they started either, and with that they either was restricting them or they were giving them community violations, which clearly there was no nudity or sexual content. So that became very discouraging. So for those reasons, I stopped putting them on. Stopped doing the short form updates. I am still going to do my long form how to recover videos and get those up. in the coming weeks. I owe you guys week 5, 6, now 7, and 8. So I need to get caught up on those. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I will see you guys in the next video.